Yes, I'm calling me Dieko Obi, and you're listening to Elegbete TV Radio. Don't touch that dial. You touch it, I'm naked bath.
Hello, everybody. What's up, people? My name is Timmy Dakolo, and you're listening to Elegbete TV Radio. Stay tuned.
Elegbete TV Radio. Redefining broadcasting. Listen.
Elegbete TV Radio. We dare to lead.
You are listening to Elegbete TV Radio.
This is radio like you never heard before. Elegbete TV Radio, the pathfinder for radio.
All right, welcome to the Sport Buffet on your favorite online radio dial, Elegbete TV Radio. It's another beautiful and a wonderful Tuesday morning. Well, it's good to be back on the show. It's good to be back on the microphone after, should I say, it's been quite a while, but it's always.
Was it a sabbatical? Was it a sabbatical?
I wouldn't say. Should I say forced and enforced sabbatical? Because quite a lot has been happening in the country. It's been tough. It's been really terrible. Then you got
cash crunch.
Cash crunch, and you get to should I break down a bit? And but yeah, it's good.
Sorry about that.
It's good to be back on the show. And I before we go on the show, I want to take this little time to appreciate. I got calls, I got messages from Patrick. I can't remember the other names now, but Patrick had to reach out to me on the phone. That what's up? I need to see you for.
Some people like you're not driving manual to
say say hey, I'm not feeling too strong. I said yeah, it's just a minor thing. And I really appreciate those who reached out and those who called to find out what's up with me and everything. When you see situations like that, when you get this kind of calls from people, it just shows no matter how many, even if it's just one person. It just shows that yes, you're doing something right. Something is right somewhere.
Obviously.
And I appreciate those who reached out to me. But we're back again, and it's good to be back on the show. Quite a lot has happened. Let's move away from the situation of the country now, even as we get set for the other stage of the election this coming weekend. But quite a lot has happened, and I don't want to talk about Liverpool.
Why would you not talk about Liverpool?
The only team that would win Manchester United 7-0 and you lose to Bournemouth away from over 1 goal to 0. It's been a frustrating trend.
But you have to talk about them.
It's been a frustrating trend this season. It's happened quite a number of times.
But you guys have had like 5 years of glorious success, chasing Man City, losing the title by 1 point, eating up to 99 points, all that. You shouldn't feel bad for one. What would an Arsenal fan say? What would a Man United fan say? There is a whole lot that has happened in football to the point where if your team is having one bad season, what about Chelsea? What would Chelsea have spent 600 million plus this season from summer to winter, and they are still stuck. They're still building a tent, right? They can't even make a single down payment for a brick house. They're still building a tent. They're still living in a tent. So I don't think you should be sad as a Liverpoolian. You guys don't spend money. You guys still have quality players. You still have a great coach. Chelsea is still battling with whether this Potter can pot something or whether the players they bought are still the right one. You know that your players are still good and all that. So I don't think that a Liverpoolian should be sad or angry that things are not going their way.
It's just should I say, when you taste success, it's just so, should I say, it's just so hard to readjust to how it was
Shame
before
on you.
and all that. But I mean, Madrid is up next. We had that conversation one time. I said, "Miracle in the tired Jesus," but you were like,
Jesus,
you said
hand the pain Jesus right now to do this miracle. Hand the pain. Jesus said, "I should tell you and all Liverpool fans that I am tired of helping people that doesn't need to be helped. I'm tired. I gave you 7 goals. You went to go and waste it on Man United. Where you supposed to share it between Man U, Bournemouth, and Madrid? Don't worry now. I go see what you're fine."
All right, moving on. It's another beautiful Tuesday, and what we do on the show every Tuesday is, issues surrounding Nigerian football, Nigerian footballers, and quite a lot has happened over.
Before you say anything,
the last few days.
Let me beg everybody. I want say people say I'm too proud. Now I want humble now. Guys, I want to go to Super Eagles camp and not get money. So I'm looking for people that will fund me and help me go to Super Eagles camp and get content and come back. 1 week stay. Please sponsor my 1 week stay in Abuja. Flight, go and come back. Accommodation, please. Don't worry, I'm not going to shop. I go fast for 1 week. Like I need to go to Abuja. I don't know how to do it, but I need to go to Abuja. Just hanging around that Super Eagles a bit and show up my number, because we're kind of like getting some kind of momentum in terms of growth. I won't lie. We're getting some very progressive momentum, and good news to everyone. Our app is now on iOS. All those of you say, "Oh, now only Android people, 90 if you download the app." The app is now on iOS. Okay, so if you're using iOS, no more. Just search for Elevated TV. It's on the app there. So just download it and have it on your phone. So the app is there. You can listen to us, and pretty much maybe from next month, a lot of our content will change. A lot of our content on the radio will change. For now, what you hear most is music, and we're talking sports. So all those of our great interviews, you can now relive them on the radio as well. And a few content. We're talking about bringing, another 1 hour live stream in the night. I was with Alibaba yesterday, and Alibaba was like, "See, that you have to, consider the diaspora people. When you do your show in the morning, I watch it here in Nigeria, but when I went to Canada, it was difficult for me to follow because I was sleeping. I can't stay awake.
Time zone, yeah.
And, so that I should do a 9 to 10 in the night. And I think I would consider it, but I also need a lot of the audience to get involved and tell me if it is something that is good for them, or probably, especially our diaspora audience, talk to us. And the reason why it's 9 to 10 is it gives me 12 hours window from the morning show and the night show, and it also helped me settle my kids into bed before I come back to the studio and do that one. 9 to 10 wouldn't be a bad idea, to be tiring, but it's something that I think I can do another 1 hour in the evening on the live stream, and then that gives almost everybody a chance to join in and see what it does. And then on that one, we call it the Talking Point Show anyway. We've done the Talking Point Show before. Another thing that would happen there is we would be able to at least once or twice a week be able to raise funds to solve one person's problem. So we would be here to look at certain kind of minor issues, not come and give us a $1 million issue. We're not going to solve. We'll start with the cap will be like 50K. Anybody that have issues that needs to be solved within the 50K range, we'll try to put up that money and solve it once a week and see how it goes. And then further, as we progress, as we get support, as we get growth, we might raise it up to 100,000 naira budget per week, 200, 250, 1 million, depending on the growth number. But I think it's something we want to do for all of the support that people have given to us. We just hit 11,000 subscribers now. I think that people have really shown love and support to us, so it's time for us to go. But having said that, Emmanuel Sebastian, I think Tuesdays is always your day, so it's your show. Let me not override it, but I cannot stop shouting from the top of the mountain, down the valley, under the ocean, everywhere, from the core of the earth to the very, very seventh heaven that Liverpool took Manchester United to, and say that our mobile application, the Elevated TV Radio mobile application, is now on iOS, same as it has been on Android. It's taken us a long while, plenty of money that we didn't have, but we finally got it. Good morning, Ozeri Gallo. Thank you very much for always being consistent with us. So we're finally there now, and this is the time for us to now, finally push some of the content and the ideas that we'll be working on. Emmanuel, it's a show today, so let's relate with you.
All right, just a quick one on the app. Yeah, it's tested. It's working really well. But Patrick commented that he couldn't find where he could drop a comment on the app. So he dropped a comment on YouTube that he can't find a drop comment on the app. So I don't know. Maybe we have to check.
When you
that,
say drop a comment on the
like
app,
on live stream or something.
No, you cannot. If you cannot drop that,
exactly. So
those those things are limited so that you don't not take the app as a place to go to for our YouTube channel. Our YouTube channel, you have to really go to the YouTube because
itself.
It affords you a whole lot of other things. But on the go, there are people who are on the go like, oh, let's just even see what the channel is all about. You can see the channel, and then eventually you now go to YouTube yourself and search for the Elevated TV sports channel, and then you'll be able to drop comment, give us support, send us thanks, maybe join as members, or probably give us super chat and all that comes with it. But for the app, at least I'll say that in Nigeria right now, probably in Africa, we have the best mobile application because you can call in on the studio. Right now, we disable the phone anyway. You can call in on the studio. You can watch our YouTube channel direct from there. You can, do a whole lot of things. You can listen to the radio on the go. And it's an app where even if you take it down, even if you minimize it, you're still running, you're still getting everything, which is very good.
You can listen with your mobile speaker as well. You don't need to connect a headset also, because there are some radio apps you have to connect a headset
for it to become your antenna. That doesn't work with us. We thought about all of that and decide to eliminate any of that kind of problem.
All right, welcome once again to the Sport Buffet on Elevated TV Radio, special Tuesday morning edition. And let's get on with it. One of the stories making the rounds was Vincent Enyeama. He was named by IFFHS as the greatest African goalkeeper of all time. Now, one thing I can say from this story when it broke out is if Enyeama runs for presidency, I think he will get a lot of support because people were, should I say, 80% were in agreement, even though we had quite a few who disagreed with that conclusion from IFFHS. Now, just a bit of a recap. In a recent announcement, the International Federation of Football History and Statistics, which is the IFFHS, they named Vincent Enyeama as the greatest African goalkeeper of all time. Enyeama was selected based on his outstanding performances for club and country during a career that spanned over ahead of other legendary African goalkeepers. I mean, we have Samuel Hadri there, we have a Kanemi there, and all that. I mean, we know Enyeama, he had a fantastic playing career as a goalkeeper. It's arguably that he's yet not replaced adequately in the Super Eagles squad at the moment.
How do you replace such a person?
But
Colossus.
Looking at this conclusion from IFFHS,
his attitude stinks anyway.
Will you agree that Vincent Enyeama is the greatest African goalkeeper of all time?
The announcement is kind of like subjective. It's just when the same body named Arsene Wenger as the coach of the decade in a decade where he did not win any title. And you have Jose Mourinho winning the Premier League back-to-back. You have Sir Alex Ferguson winning the Premier League, was his personal thing. So it's a bit subjective. So you look at this. His name is up there, but would I pick him as the greatest of all time? It's gonna be hard for me, really to pick him as the greatest of all time. What league title did he win? For his European club, he played for Lille. Yeah. Did very well, kept a lot of clean sheets, about 13 or 15 or so. I don't know the exact number now, I stand corrected. But we've also have Denis Onyango, we've had Vincent Enyeama, Essam El Adari of Egypt, Jacques Songo Bell, Antoine Bell, Jacques Songo, Antoine Bell, Ezaki, Badu, we've had Andre Onana, Carlos Songo Bell, Antoine Bell, Jacques Songo, Antoine Bell, Ezaki, Badu, we've had Andre Onana, Carlos Kameni, Davis Epasi, we have Fabrice Ondoa, Simeon Omosola, we have Blondina Unko as well. I don't know if I'm going to agree and put him in the number one. Is he in the list? Yes. But number one, I don't know. We've also had Edward Mendy, who won the FIFA Best Goalkeeper, who won the UEFA Champions League. Are you really going to convince yourself that Vincent Enyeama is better than him? Across
a 10 years, let's look at a 10-year time frame now.
So
because if you talk about Mendy,
so
these are guys who,
longevity
yeah, that's the word.
be an excuse. So if we want to do that, then let's put somebody like the Moroccan goalkeeper Yassin Bano in this conversation. Let's put the Egyptian goalkeeper Mohamed El Shawani in this conversation as well. And then over a period of 10 years, Andrew Onana has also done incredibly well, leading Ajax, to win the Dutch league title, going all the way. And in Inter Milan is, in that pursuit, after everything that happened. And then there's Alfred Gomez. I'm not honestly going to sit down here as a Nigerian, and this is not me hating on Vincent Enyeama. I love the guy, right? But I do not have the moral justification to say it that is undoubtedly number one. When you say Vincent Enyeama is number one, you're going to be able to own it with your chest and say, in a 10 years period, especially knowing that Vincent Enyeama have retired. So I'm going to ask the question, in which 10 years space are you talking about? What is the 10 years space you're talking about? 2002 to 2013? I need to know the 10 years space you're talking about, the window you're talking about. Because in this window, he won the African Cup of Nations in 2013.
Yeah.
But before that, he was a shadow of himself. We didn't qualify for 2 Nations Cup. Vincent Enyeama was there. And then there is a whole lot of other failings. So to put him there, and then you have a goalkeeper that have won for Egypt the Nations Cup back to back, and then you have the Cameroonian goalkeeper that have also won the Nations Cup back to back. It's smack of a little bit of disrespect, as far as I'm concerned. I don't know, but maybe Nigerians, like you said, he will win the presidency. I know he will win local government chairman election anyway, but I'm not going to sit down here. I mean, I would be disrespecting Osam El Hadari.
That's.
I mean, are we really serious here? If we're having a conversation, Vincent Enyeama, no, this is not me disrespecting Vincent Enyeama. I've got mad love and respect for him and his performance. But it's like when you watch the AFTV and Arsenal fans tell you that the best player in the Premier League this season is Bukayo Saka. Wait a minute. What's the guy that scores free kick are going out of fashion? That guy doesn't play football again. What's the guy that scores goals as if goals are going to scoring hat-trick back-to-back in Man City? That guy doesn't play football again. Harry Kane is having a horrible season and he scored 20 goals already this season, and that doesn't count. So I think that the subjective part is to be a Nigerian and just sit here and say, don't rain on the parade. They've nominated a Nigerian. Let us all celebrate him. Yes, I celebrate him. But you see, the job that I do is the job of an analyst. And the job of an analyst means that you have to put on your thinking cap and leave your emotions and your sentiment in the conversation. So in a 10 years period, I'm rather going to pick a goalkeeper that won the Nations Cup back-to-back. I put the battle between the Cameroonian goalkeeper that won the Nations Cup back-to-back and the Egyptian goalkeeper that won it back-to-back. And then I said to myself, I think Osam El Hadari was the man. He was the man. He was very, very influential. He was very solid. And I'm not going to let my sentiment judge me, pick me on this one. I'm going to go with Osam El Hadari. Maybe top 3, top 5. Yeah, Vincent Enyeama is there. But outside that, nah.
Do you have a favorite Enyeama moment with the national team? What can you say about...
Favorite Enyeama moment was his debut. The post-goal save. The post-goal save would always be that for me. So I think that with Vincent Enyeama, for me, the relationship between me as a viewer and as a journalist and Vincent Enyeama is that really connect with me. As a fan of the Super Eagles, Peter Rufai connected with me. There were many saves. There were bad moments, but I cannot forget Maroc 88. Peter Rufai, the penalties that went on forever into the night. I can't forget that. Okay? Wilfred Agbonibare may have considered a lot of goals, but I can't forget the fact that every time he is in goal, Nigeria score 4. We beat Nigeria 4-1, we beat Cote d'Ivoire 4-1. I can't forget that. I can't forget Alai Agu, even though he lost his seat to Ghana, to Abedi Pele and the rest. I can't forget those moments. But when it comes to Vincent Enyeama, in my head right now is South Africa rounding him up and scoring. In my head right now is us not, not really. He's him fighting Sondolise. He's him having issues with Samson Sasa. Those are the things that come up on my head. And then, yeah, there are saves. Okay, the penalty save against, it was in 2004, let's say against Cameroon or so. The penalty save, I think I like that moment as well. The saving that shot against Poscos. But most of the moment that I have of him is either Lille or Enyimba. Yeah, I've got a lot of moments with Enyimba because I used to travel Enyimba. I used to say Enyimba. What people don't know is on the street, I used to really hustle a lot. And because I'm the guy, I like spending my cash a lot. And one of the things that I used to do, I remember I would buy Enyimba jersey, 10,000 naira. Okay, it's actually 8,000 naira, 16. A pack of 16 jerseys is 8,000 naira. I used to buy it 8,000 naira in bulk. And then plus the sending it through Young Shago or whatever transport system, I pay 2,000 extra, which is 10,000, and it gets to Lagos, and I was selling each piece of it 5,000 to, like, I didn't sell to regular people. So I go to offices, I used to work in a law firm, and people don't know that part of me anyway. I used to work in a law firm, Pamusa & Co. And so the executive, the senior lawyers, them Shego Agbede, who is now in Super Sports and on Lagos Stock, used to own a very big financial consultancy firm on engineering building, number one engineering close, and we're in the same space together. And I remember I used to sell Enyimba jersey. This was 2003, 2004, 2005, right? I used to sell one pieces of Enyimba jersey, 5,000 naira. Even though I buy the whole 16, 10,000. I buy 8,000 naira and plus the transportation, 10,000. I used to sell one. And the way it comes with medium, large, XL, XSL, like that. 16 pieces is in that pack that comes with the Joma jersey, that blue one that have white here, very beautiful jersey. So I used to sell one of it 5,000 naira, but I only have corporate fans. I don't sell to football fans. I don't sell to regular noisemakers because to me they don't have the money that I need. I was living in Ikoyi at the time, so I mean environment determines somehow you're spending. So I always look for people. So by the time I sell 10, it's 50,000 naira. And then I order for more again. And it was always quick because there are a lot of people who like it. They don't wear it like everyday thing. They wear it for show off. Like a weekend, they want to go out to the lounge. Everybody's wearing Arsenal Man U. And then they show up with this Enyimba, very beautiful Enyimba jersey with curves at the bottom. So I think I remember Enyeama from Enyimba. Because of that, I used to go to their matches. I used to go watch their matches a whole lot. And then there was a time when I was also a reporter. Enyimba's match was top of the list for me, where I will find a way to travel to Aba and go watch the game so that I can carry my jersey when I'm coming back and all that. So those were the time. And
no World Cup moments, the Messi moments, the saves.
There were not fantastic Vincent Enyeama moment for me at the World Cup. Okay, so the one where I was a commentator was 2014. And we were good, but it wasn't on the back of Vincent Enyeama. In 2014, I think that team, the solidity of that team, the memories I have was more of Onazi, Eddie Onazi than any other person else. And against France, once he got out of that game, I just knew, I remember running commentaries. Martin Tyler was watching me, and some other FIFA guys were watching me, and Chidozie Okoreji was on the commentary box. And I said, oh my God, this is when the cookie crumbles. And I saw Martin Tyler taking note to my peripheral vision. I said, this is when the cookie crumbles. For as long as that little demon called, what's that guy? Matthew Valbuena is still on the field. And the only man who's put a shackle on him, this was what I was saying. The only man who's put a shackle on him up until now, kept him so quiet, has been this man who is being stretched out of the field. As the moment he goes out of this field, this game is over for Nigeria. Was still goalless step at the time, and then they went on to beat Nigeria. And after that game, Martin Tyler called me, and that was when he took my number. That's when this whole relationship with Martin Tyler started. So I remember Vincent Enyeama was stretching in the goal line like he was feeling sleepy. So I just thought, that's when the rumor also came out that they were counting money all through the night, blah blah blah. Even though Onazi denied that during the interview that I gave to Senator Sam, say the time that I will fire you, don't worry. Be disturbing me here. You're a bad boy. You want me to give you an jersey? You cannot go to your village and take your people's jersey. So that was it for me. But I don't think I'll be doing justice to the conversation if I sit here and say Vincent Enyeama is the all-time best goalkeeper from Africa. The Egyptians will be looking at me like, who's this stupid idiot? And the Cameroonians will be looking at me like, come on. Let's be honest. If we want to pick Super Eagles all-time goalkeeper, do you think that Vincent Enyeama will shade it over Peter Rafai?
Yeah, I think so. For me, because I didn't watch much of Peter.
You were born in the year that
that's
Peter
how
Rafai
that's
was.
the angle that's the angle I'm gonna bring it from. So I'm gonna go with Vincent Enyeama.
No, Vincent Enyeama is good though, but I don't think I'm not gonna pick Vincent Enyeama over.
But in terms of club football,
what club? He played for Lille.
Goalkeepers.
He played for Lille.
He played in Champions League as well.
And they won it. No, if we want to have that conversation, let's have the conversation. Edward Mendy won the Champions League for a very bad Chelsea team. A very Lilliputian Chelsea team. He won the Champions League. And it was very good. It was so good that people were mad that they didn't give him award, the best goalkeeper at the Ballon d'Or.
Yeah.
Do you understand? Do you think anybody's ever gotten angry that Vincent Enyeama was not given African Footballer of the Year? Think about, just pause and think for a minute. Was there any window where the award was given? It wasn't the best Super Eagles player. I don't understand. I don't know if you understand. When the Super Eagles won the Nations Cup, nobody raised their head and said, "Oh, Vincent Enyeama won us this Nations Cup." We're talking about Sunday Umba, Victor Moses, Mikel Obi. Nobody was mentioning Vincent Enyeama. So I'm trying to figure out what was the time that we had this Vincent Enyeama moment that was so high, that we were high on the street and everybody was like, "Oh, Vincent Enyeama did it for us." It's just like winning Atlanta 96 and somebody comes out and tell you that, "Oh, Joseph Dosu was the reason why we won the Atlanta 96. Are you crazy?
You know,
or you come out and say Okocha was the reason why I won Atlanta 96. Like, Okocha was one of the biggest problems we had in Atlanta 96. I don't want to talk about Okocha now so that people don't say I don't like him. But you understand, it's like giving glory to somebody for something that he didn't do because it was just part of the team. No, I don't think so.
Maybe because the way our goalkeepers are portrayed now, is making us relieve, those moments from Enyeama, like it's, those magic.
Yeah, because we're not producing great goalkeepers anymore. Goalkeepers that rise up to the standard and be as good as that. So we kind of like say it's the one-eye man theory, the land of the blind. The one-eye man is the king.
Yeah.
But when we now put it on the broader spectrum, this analogy that I used to give to you, that back in the day in the village, the guy who went to standard 5 is the guy who read all letters, and is the guy who's a champion. And then one Mazi, now send his son to college days of John Ojo goes to college. And then when that guy comes back from college, standard 5 guy is no longer important anymore because his school start is useless. This new guy now trumps him. And then one other person now goes to university and comes back. And then somebody now goes to school abroad and go become a professor. And then, that's where we have the Professor John Bull, who speaks upside down English and confuse everybody, bamboozle everybody with grammar, and is the Lord of the Ring, the champion, right? So I think in the Vincent Enyeama era, we kind of like, the sentiment is that after Vincent Enyeama, we've not really had anybody. And we've had so many people throw their hearts in the ring. Kyle Kemel would have been the guy, had leukemia and went off the radar, fall off the perch. And since then, we've had Akpei, Uzoho, Maduka, who is more of a model than a goalkeeper. We've had a few other suggestions. Dela Yenuga, all these guys, they've really not lived up. Ajiboye, the old man who went on the 17 championship to go and win.
Ambrose
Nwazeki, who's now very fat, fat boy in Benin. All of this, you now say to yourself, you know what? They're not really good. So it now makes Vincent Enyeama the GOAT. But that could be a Nigerian space. But when you now say African goalkeeper, when I first saw the news, I like, shut up, don't patronize us.
All right. Still on this Enyeama conversation, Ola is asking, do you think he will make a good goalkeeper trainer for the Super Eagles? Even though you're a good goalkeeper, does he really, makes you a good goalkeeper trainer?
And I keep answering this question. Football is an act. Coaching is a combination of a lot of things. Coaching is both science, act, military, parenting, management, psychology, philosophy, and all that put together. Being a good player does not make you a coach. First, not to talk of a good coach. It's just that the standard for us employing people in Nigeria is very low. Listen, no disrespect to anybody, but I think that all the Nigerian coaches that are in the national team right now have no business being there. They have no business being there. That's why they also do not have the ability to leave Nigeria and go coach anywhere. That's also the reason why every foreign coach who are brought into Nigeria always bring their backroom staff. If you're that good, nobody will bring backroom staff to come do the job that you are hired and be paid to do. That's why also when the NFF don't pay them, they don't even have the mouth to speak, because it is more of a patronizing job for them rather than a professional job. Like, I am qualified, I know my onion, I'm good enough. If you don't give me this job, I will go to another place. Avi Renard, is a good coach. You're playing here, win you the Nations Cup. He's moving. If you don't meet his term, he's going somewhere else. He goes to win the Nations Cup again, like he did for Zambia, like he did for Ivory Coast, and then he's now with Saudi Arabia, and he could go somewhere else. Carlos Queiroz, who's also a Legbere journeyman, could move anywhere. The guy who wears Google, what's his name? Boran Mitilovic, could move anywhere. But you don't see that with a Nigerian player who is a good coach. Probably managed to, wiggle their way through winning under 17. And then after that, they are stuck in traffic. They can't progress. They're not effective. Because the philosophy, the methodology to which they win tournaments sometimes is not the right way. If they're using Nigerian coaches coach like Nigerian pastors, they're shallow. Nigerian pastors use fear to manipulate people. Nigerian coaches also use fear as a psychological weapon to manipulate the players. Oh, Nigerians expect you to fail. They want you to fail. You know that if you don't win this tournament, your family will die of poverty. You are the only hope for your family. So these guys just go there out of anger. That's not really tactical structure. That's not really, when you look at the Nigerian team and you sit down and you want to analyze it and pass take the template, the playbook. That's the word. You can't take the Nigerian coaches playbook, Ladan Bosso. What's that guy that I always talk about science of the game? Name them. You can't take their playbook and say, okay, let's lift the body of work from this playbook and put it in another team and see how it works. Look at Arsenal. You know that this is the footprint of Pep Guardiola's Man City. With a little bit of the Arteta's infusion, more movement, more speed, quick thinking, and displacing the opposition players by interchanging of position, that is at work. Have you watched a Nigerian team that's coached by a Nigerian coach and you can sit back and say, okay, I can read the play here? That's why, I produced the league now and I watched the league and I was like, okay, but when I was playing in this league, people can keep possession for 5 minutes. I've not seen a team, whether you are Enyimba, whether you are Bendel Insurance, who's top of the league, or whether even Remo Stars. Remo Stars, the Beyond Limit team plays better football than the real Remo Star itself. And the reason is, Beyond Limit coach was trained in England. The other coach, I don't know. I'm not saying that Daniel Ogumade is not a good coach. Ogumade did or whatever his name is. He's not a good coach. But I'm just giving you that as a prototype, as an example. So it's hard for me to not tell you that Vincent Enyeama, because he was Vincent Enyeama is not a people person. Yeah, and so being a coach, you have to be a people's person. Vincent Enyeama is not a people person. He's very, very. He's the kind of coach that will fail as a coach. If Vincent Enyeama become a coach, it's a recipe for disaster as a coach. But I don't think he's going to be a good coach.
All right, Ola, I hope that answers your question. Even though we don't know what Enyeama is up to at the moment, we don't know if he's still.
Have an event center. You have an event center. He's not in the game.
Within the game, or
he's in his family, doing his own business, properties, real estate. That's what he does.
All right. For whatever he does, we wish him all the best in his future endeavors. And,
absolutely.
And we would always celebrate him. What he's done with the national team. What is is well revered amongst Nigerian fans all over the world. Now, let's move away from Vincent Enyeama. Now, you were talking about coaching and all that. Let's go to the under 20 now, Ladan. Now, heading into that tournament, a lot of, I would say, majority of Nigerian football fans were not happy with Ladan Bosso because, it's same. You still have same set of people, managing under 20. Ladan Bosso, has been there for quite a while now. Still, same coach. The style of play, even though they ended up as bronze medalists, they got the job done. They got the World Cup spot sealed. They were semi-finalists in the tournament, so they secured the place in the World Cup in Indonesia later this year, and they also secured the bronze medalists. But I don't know how you watched the tournament, but how would you sum the outing for Ladan Bosso and the boys? Winning bronze and securing the World Cup spot. Do you think? Success at the end of the day. Nigeria, when it comes to the under-20 World Cup, we have a lot of pedigree. We're one of the most feared teams in the, at the AFCON, even at junior academy level when it comes to the World Cup and all that. But based on what we've achieved so far, do you think winning a bronze medal is a success for you? And how would you sum up Ladan Bosso and his boys so far?
Well, it wasn't total failure. Because there were 2 KPIs for the tournament, and they achieved one.
There's also a question on Ladan Bosso. Say, Elegbete, do you think Bosso can achieve anything with under 21? Can't we drag Pesero to join the team
for what?
like Bonfrejo under 23, 96 set?
So under 23 is different, and Bonfrey was not the Super Eagles coach at the time. It was later that drafted him to go to the Super Eagles for 2000. He was actually sacked after Atlanta, and then later we brought him back again to the 2000. Let's not forget that after Atlanta, we employed Felipe Trozier for the Super Eagles, then Buram Intinovic, and then a whole lot of other people before we even thought of Tish Libret, a lot of people. That's a longer conversation. I've never felt that Ladan Bosso is a good coach. You're right. So I'm not one of those who sit where I am and I'm thinking, Ladan Bosso should be encouraged or should be supported. I don't think he's a good coach. I think he's past his prime, and he should be let go. Again, apart from Samson Siasia, who is a sure banker, who you can bank on, that Samson Siasia would deliver XYZ, irrespective of where you are, what team you give to him. And maybe the Super Eagles is always going to be undoing because somehow he's not qualified for the Nations Cup. But it's because we've always given him team that was already dying, and we expect him to come and perform. Not even miracle, to come and do magic. And when he doesn't do the magic, they say he's a bad coach, blah, 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 blah. But the truth is, when you look at him, he's the one that when he coaches a team, you most likely get a semblance of a structure, of a shape, of an idea of what this team is going to play, what they're going to bring to the party. That's the only guy who does that. Other than that, every other person who's taking this is not the first time. We've had coach, what's that coach that was assistant to Iguaivon, what's his name? This Benin guy that also coached Warri Wolves, that they say was trained in London. Jesus Christ.
I can't remember.
That fair coach, Paul Agbogu.
Paul
Agbogu coached under 20. Yeah. He didn't qualify. So Ladan Bosso could look at himself and say, I even qualified for the World Cup. What are people saying? Some people have come here and not qualified. But then tactically, so I judge a coach by their tactical maneuver, not necessarily based on how they won, but how they tactically put a team together and how the team goes from point A to point B, the transition of the ball from defense to attack, how they win the ball back when they lose it. This team was just playing for luck. They just get the ball forward, anyhow you go and just by luck, just do it. You can't have a team playing for luck and you want me to sit here and analyze it or justify anything. The team is not good enough. The coaching was just not there. These players were playing to their strength. They're just power. There's no tactical input. There's no, saw the opposition bringing players, and then we are not going to adapt our game in such a way that our flexibility would be revealed in the way we play. It doesn't happen like that. So I'm not really expecting anything to happen with the under 20 Sorry, I'm just going to sit back here and watch. As a Nigerian, I will always support my Nigerian national team. That it's the standard rule. I will always support my Nigerian team. But I think that in so many areas we have bad coaches. Falcons have bad coach. Under 20 have bad coach. I'm yet to see what Ulukagbade brings to the party. I think that he's a brilliant guy, but I want to see him bring that to the party properly, and then I'll be able to judge him at the under 17 level. But then again, me, my position with under 17 is always that it's not something for anybody to get excited about, because these guys are coming off street football. From street football to that level, it's just passion, and anything, the players are expressive. It's when they go from there to under 20 and then under 23, then you see coaching. Most of the things that happen at under 17, it's just pure psychology, and that's it.
All right. It seems Ola is really, really in on the show today. He said,
thank you, Ola, for being on the show.
It says from one of the football groups. He said, Elegbete, why can't we get coaches like Hassan Suleiman, who Chelsea just promoted to come coach our other team at the national team? I don't know if you saw that news. There's a Nigerian at Chelsea level that got promoted.
Let me say this.
But these are Nigerian coaches do well, in that.
If you are Hassan Suleiman and Nigeria offers you a job right now, will you take the job? The answer is no. Okay, I remember, Emmanuel, why you guys were beating me harder. Why didn't I take when they were offering me media officer job or Super Eagles on that 23, I should name it anyone I want for a space of 2 years, and I said I wasn't going to take it. And some of you guys were beating me hard. Looking back now, do you think I made the wrong decision? I didn't make a wrong decision, because I would have abandoned this project and been running. The only benefit is I would travel. I have traveled to 52 countries and back. I'm not one person who look for traveling opportunity, free plane ride with anybody. I'm rather, and then I'm 45 now, right? So I'm looking at building a legacy, building an institution that will not only benefit me, but benefit Emmanuel, benefit Benedict Eki, benefit Joseph Okiche, benefit Timothy Deimbo, Myro, Peter, we're not the host of other people beyond these names that I've mentioned. To leave it and to go and be running with a team where your salary is not guaranteed, you don't even know whether you're on the job or you're not on the job, you're just a floater. The only thing is you have access to national team players that I am here also, I have access to them. You understand? So it's difficult. I don't think that Tosin would leave that, Hassan Suleiman will leave that job, and that job that is secure, that job that have a career path. Can you write on your CV that you work with the NFF and people will rate you high? No. Working with the NFF, I'm sorry to say, but working with the NFF is kind of like a very easy way to destroy your CV. It's like saying I worked with a Nigerian politician, and so that is a criteria for me to be rated by Forbes, KPMG, PwC, or any ratings, or the Fortune 500 ratings organization. Obviously, that's a thunderbolt to destroy your career, right? So I was a PA to the Senate president, man. You're an idiot, right? So you because you'll be classified, even if you didn't steal, you're one of the thieves. That's the next comment I'll come. Oh, you're one of the thieves. You're one of those guys who shared the national cake. You're one of the idiots who destroyed this great country, right? That's how you'll be seen as. So I don't think a young man on that part would do. But before we talk about Hassan Suleiman, because it's in the news, and Nigerians not evil themselves. We have a great guy who's doing an incredible job here, producing player. In one tournament, 7 players that he trained were picked up. One side for Inter, Pacos Ferreira, 7. You're not talking about that. You're talking about one idiot that is coaching. Sorry, that's coaching Chelsea under 19 that I'm not producing anything. Chelsea is suffering. What happened to the coach of Beyond Limit? They just won the TCC League, and they're doing excellently well. He went on his own, took his own money, went abroad to go and train himself, and he's doing an incredible job here. If you want to coach your national youth team, that's the guy to go to. Olumide, Coach Olumide. Nobody's talking about him. That's the guy we should be sitting down and be like, oh, this guy should be the next. In 10 years' time, he should be the Super Eagles coach. But for now, let him start with the under 17, graduate to under 20, maybe under 23, and then find himself in the Super Eagles. That's the kind of guy, if we're really serious about the football ecosystem, that's the guy we need. And then what's that boy that's a match reader that came from Scotland that I told you we will never see him in the Super Eagles? That was appointed in the Super Eagles. Torishejo, I mean, what's his name? Those guys are supposed to be put together with people like Coach Olumide, and then let's start with maybe national under 15, and then group them and progress. Then we know that we're systemic about wanting to progress. Not Hassan is not going to come here. Hassan is. I watched a video of him talking. Hassan is a British boy. Let's not beat our head over. You know how that thing they say what you're looking for in Sokoto is in your Sokoto. Let's look at the ones we have here. Coach Ayere is building his CV. Why are we not calling him to come work, even if it's on attachment, with one of the national team, and then provide a comfortable environment for him? Not come here. There's a way your employer will suffer you. You will not reduce your dream. There's a way you're working, your salary doesn't come as I went you. They talk to you anyhow. You now start thinking to yourself that you are being overambitious. So people like you are not supposed to dream big. It happened to me. This thing I'm saying now, I'm not talking about another person. This is my story. I came back from the US, big dream. I walked in places and I started feeling myself like you're not meant to dream this big. Until I got fired and I went back again to my dreaming big, and see, this is happening, right? The reality is that some environment can constrict you so much with pressure that you go from a big elephant to a small raccoon. So I think that we need to make the environment work first, and then before we start thinking, you can bring in Asa will not succeed here. That's why Olise did not succeed. It's not like Olise is not a good coach, but Olise was not so used to an environment that works and functions well, and you're not bringing him here.
All right, Ola. So I hope that also answers your question. I would love us to also push the ones we have here, the young ones that are doing well here in Nigeria, instead of looking at those ones in diaspora, and we just hope they get the chance to get the opportunity to show what they can do. I mean, these younger ones, instead of recycling, this the old ones that have been there before for years, for ages, and still, nothing to show for it as well. But I mean, we were from this Ladan Bosso conversation before we were heading to this. But just to put it out there again, in case
you're
you
not
missed it,
reading your friends' comments on YouTube today, they go sue you. This
no,
people-
I've been taking quite a few. I've been taking quite a few as well. The question about
you can't take quite a few.
Pesero
The rules on YouTube is read everybody's message. So break away and read their message.
Okay. Let me just do that before we go into the next talking point. Ugochukwu Wachiemelu say, I totally agree with Elegbete 1. SM El Hadri for me is Africans number 1. Four Nations Cup.
Wait, Emmanuel, wait. Let me save you. Because you are selective, you're going to have problems. Not find where I could drop comment on the app. Patrick went on to say, Ma Sebastian, my guy, welcome. And then Divine Tokyo was there to say, boss, I want to ask, has any Victor ever flopped in the Super Eagles? No, I don't know. Victor Webaifo, Victor Sime, Victor Agali, Victor Moses. I don't know. I don't know any Victor Victor Kweba, Prince of Monaco. I don't think there's any Victor that have flopped with the Spikes. That's a good observation. I can't remember any at all. All have been spot on as far as injury and form allow them. Lord Mayor say greetings, boss. Then Divine okay went on to say, welcome back, Ima. I still miss my Ijebode Pundit is preparing for his exam. Eze Patrick say, wow, the name is trending already. Ijebode Pundit. Lord Mayor, Ima Sebastian, shop frog meat. He say, Hassan Agada say the network is cracking. Are you really sure? I'm not sure. Maybe your side. The network is bad on your side. Let me say, boss, you followed the London award yesterday. Yes, I did. Arsenal scooped most of the award. That award was organized for Arsenal, I beg. Let them go and sit down. The award was organized for Arsenal. Just made it an Arsenal kidnapping team. Let me say, Sebastian supposed Chopper or Woto. Better Liverpool they see their period right now.
Calm down.
Tosi Adeban boss says, I live in New York and this is 4 a.m. now. Last week I was watching the show at 3 a.m. I'm sorry. See, now because of Una. But when they give us super chat, when they give us money, we're going to ginger us to do this thing for Una own comfortable time. Just he said it would make sense to have the show in the evening. I would definitely have the show in the evening, but I need somebody to join me because to do it alone also doesn't really get the spice. I'm looking for somebody that will join me in the evening and see how it goes. Osage Ekpawe says, I beg small for the fact that a person is or was a great footballer does not mean he will be a good administrator. God bless you. Osage Ekpawe says, in my opinion, Esam Al-Hadari is the greatest African goalkeeper of all time. I agree with you on that one as well. And Divine okay say you mean El Hadari. You obviously know what he's talking about already. Okay. Henry Umaru says, good morning, bros and Manny. In this Vincent matter, where will you rank him among the goods in Africa? Maybe number 7 or number 6 or number 8 or somewhere there. Or maybe number 5 if I'm nice. Divine okay, you say you are forgetting about this Argentine moment though. Which Argentine moment now? Name one moment where he play against Argentina where they not beat us now. Sure. It's Argentine moment and they beat us. They keep beating us. You say Argentine moment. Like say we can't play against them. We can't win the match. Let me say Tunisia saved though. Tunisia save. Okay, that one. There's a Patrick says someone just said you should invite Sanwo-Olu to the studio. He is freed. Sanwo-Olu is busy calling people, doing everything. Sanwo-Olu Wusu. I want to buy Korokpe. I'm looking for a driver. So can somebody test Sanwo-Olu to come and apply for that job? Because he's busy doing everything right now. The vice okay say is a no start to Lord Mayor say LOL. Babajide na Baba now. Going to be Mobolaji say money in that way. Do you think Ladan Bosso can achieve anything with the under 21? Can't we drag a
Yeah, I think
you are wicked. Emmanuel touched that one already. You people are just evil people. You people are just like very, very mean and wicked. But I won't say anything. Ugochukwu Uwan Chinemelu said, I totally agree with Elegbete 1. SM Al-Hadari is it for me in Africa, for Nations Cup, for African Champions League. Where we're talking, you should be visiting them. I want to stop these things now. Sure. With that AFSF, she does smoke Igbo, we no correct. Sure, the leftover fella Igbo, they worry them. Ugochukwu want to say, in Nigeria, Peter Rufai is it for me. Sorry, the man Sebastian that he never had the opportunity to watch him during his heydays. Jerry Ozowa says a great analysis, Elegbete 1 of Africa. And Divine okay says we've got a number of Nigerian coaches doing okay in Europe that could help our football develop, but engaging them will be an issue because NFF is broke right now. Thank God. I see that part where you put a sweet die. As a Patrick said, every Nigerian subject is always touching. Okay, you go walk right. According to me, Mobolaji said, so who do you think can do better job in this under 21 team within our domestic coaches? I think given the right incentives, I would put Kennedy Boboye there. I would also put Fidelis Elechuku there. If given the chance and the right support, I'll put them there and see what they can bring to the party. Because it's not just enough to employ a coach. Also make sure you pay them as I went you and make sure they don't go and fall into the trap of wanting to take bribe because you're not paying them and they're trying to survive, on the job. Okay, that's one thing we should know. Joseph Adebayo say, I agree with the discourse here. The moment Ladan Bosso was appointed, I knew we retrogressed. He coached the under-20 way back in 2007. We need a paradigm shift. Thank you very much, Joseph, for that one. Osaze, he said, bros, good morning. Now, me, son of a, I've been a long time. How are you doing? He said, when will Super Eagles list be out? It'll be out anytime. You get somebody where you want me to invite on this team. They are coming to camp on Monday, so calm down. Yami Dynamite say, I still think Enyeama could have been on the historical grade, have been an historical grade for the record, but he tainted that with the tantrum he threw during Ulysses' time. Even with the tantrum or no tantrum, he's a great, but just that not the number one. And I put him in number one as well. He's on the top 10 list definitely, but great number one. Nah, LeBron James is good, but Michael Jordan is still number one. So you understand that kind of thing. So that's something that we must put into perspective. Yami Dynamite say, I still think Enyeama could have been okay. I don't say that one. As a Patrick say, truth is, if a sound coach takes the under 21 job, many people won't be there. Poor. Yami Dynamite say, thumbs up to Arteta, Saka, Odegaard, and Ramsdale who cleaned the London Award yesterday. Let's hope they would clinch the EPL title by May 2. You know that I was almost tempted to send you to that award. Then I realized that you'll be working. And I was like, because I got an invite, and they were asking me where to deliver it if I have a reporter within the UK that would need it. Somebody was going to swing it for me, and you were the person that crossed my mind. But then I realized that you'll be working or living in Europe, you must work to survive. You work confess, shift confess. Now shift to the devil they call it, not be work. As a Patrick say, Lord Mayor, this is Niger players show I beg. Okay, Ugochukwu one at Chimelo says, please, no phone in. We have a phone, but we decide not to do the phone in because it will affect our YouTube numbers. We would eventually bring in the phone in later, not now. Yami Dynamite says, speaking of list, it's like better than is Ike better than Enyeama? No. To use that. No. Yes, I was at work that yesterday. Osaze, that under 20 team, many guys don't merit it. Emmanuel Sebastian, I'm going to come back to you. But before I come back to you, let me also take the time out to read from Instagram because there is plenty of messages that will not read. We've got 8 more minutes on the show before the show runs out. Since we started late, we must give them their 1 hour. It says that Patrick says, good morning. Could not find where. Okay, I've seen that before. Says Patrick, you're just putting it everywhere. To like show yourself. Sound sound somebody. Almost on the same message in 2 places. I just want to touch all the message I almost say. Senator Sam, you didn't send me one. Senator Sam, get out of this place. But you know how much I love you anyway. After Vincent, there has been no better goalkeeper. I agree with you on that one. Carson _ 347 say Ladan Bosso is the most useless coach in Nigeria, apart from Christian Shuku. Only I say big he wanted to you. So, and hello to your new sidekick that had boss during his captaincy was all I remember about Enyeama. Oh, as Carson _ 347 says, bros, they sent us the invite to make with the report for you. Oh, sorry, I didn't even think of you. That's my bad. Shooks _ says, good morning, Legote. Your show and my breakfast now 5 and 6. Come chop. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. So, Emmanuel, back to you.
All right, back on the show before we wrap up. Somebody was asking when is the Super Eagles list is going to be released. Expect any moment from now. Teams have started dropping theirs. Morocco dropped theirs for the next international.
The way a
break,
lot of people
Cameroon
are
dropped theirs.
anticipating the list. If like say they pay money to somebody for somebody to be on the list. So they wait to confirm the
call-ups and all
the
that.
call-up. I don't understand. What do they expect?
And Gennett Rowe as well dropped his from Benin Republic as well. So
Gennett Rowe invited me that I should come to. I should come and visit him. I told him that I would think about it. No, I'm broke. The money I spent in that surgery. Now God, the money I spent in my son's surgery, I never recover. I said I never get money to go to Abuja as I talk to you. Over 8 million spent on that. So
all right.
People don't understand.
He's gonna get.
And they see my messages.
Yeah,
I'm the man with the issue of blood right now. I'll talk the truth.
You're going to pull through definitely. So
definitely.
That's how it's going to be. Talking about the Super Eagles, let's talk about potential call-ups now. I mean, the amount of forwards we have now that are doing so well. You just can't.
Coach not get headache. Coach not get headache.
You just can't stop talking about them. But why? Let's talk about the midfield. Let's talk about the midfield. Why are midfielders so hard to? I mean, the strikers we have, the ones on ground are doing so well. Even the ones that you look at and say where they want enter, they are still really doing well. But if it comes to midfield,
wait, before you go ahead, let me just say one funny thing. We are in 2023. Somebody is still blaming Amaju Pinnick for Nigerian football. Wahala.
No, not somebody, quite a number of people.
Jide Babatunde, he said, I'm tired of Nigerian football. Pinnick don't come out since October 30th now. Since September now, Pinnick don't come out. There's a new one in charge. Oh God. I think you say always enjoy your analysis. Keep it up, boss. Young with thank God, your wife. Akibola Larry said Kali Keme was on the upward trajectory to become a goalkeeper of record before the health issue crept in. Yeah, Pinnick has killed our football. Baba Jide, Jide Baba today. Someone Louis here, bros.
There's
a Patrick, an idiot.
I beg if you be someone who tell us so. Somebody see GD for I beg tell us.
Someone who have fun. You dey start people later. You don't start me later, Abi. Okay now. You will see. Me and my boys are not voting for you. Someone the hairdresser. Someone if you help me fix my dreadlock. My dreadlock. No, help me fix my bank account. That's what I need right now. I need money to fly to Abuja. Yeah, when I never give me money once. At least when I give me money this time, delegate money will remain. When I give me this time, I go take. I normally don't take, but I'll take now. Please, I beg, if na go fear me, I need a shape to ask. When I help me, I want to go to Super Eagles camp next week. Like travel on Sunday or Monday morning. Anyone? German of Valentine. He says Super Eagles coach Jose. This bizarre rule. On another coach today, I think people are in comedy mood today. Oluyemi says, Sanwo-Olu going to enter studio tomorrow now. I mean, man, I take over.
These comments are just kidding. It's just so funny. But it would be good to have him on the show. As if he knows.
But this is my radio station. No. Hey, this is how when I come here, when I lose the election, people are not going to listen to me again. Have you just noticed that our numbers of subscribers are going up? You want people to verse and just hey, it took me a long time to get here. So I only tell me say what come this station. I go say no. If not, Peter will be coming now. I go listen. I will say, bros, no, we are doing maintenance. We are off here. Zoom meeting, no.
Okay, so we're talking about before the funny comments started coming. We're talking about the Super Eagles. Our search for midfielders. Where do we go from here? From this search for midfielders. I mean, we have quite a number of holding midfielders, DNs, but the depths of the creative aspect. I mean, Aribo is not having. This season has been terrible as Southampton. It will be Everton. They are back in the relegation fight, even with Sondage coming in. The creative midfielders you want to put at the top of
that, you train them. Attackers are instinctive. You don't train them up. You train them, but not like you don't need much work to produce a striker. Because from cradle to grave, we all are strikers. We all are attacking something. The African child is always on the run. He's always chasing after something. So instinctively, that's what you need to be a striker. Is that finesse of being calm. We have Marco Van Basten, Ronaldo da Lima, the precision that comes with, and Harry Kane, Thierry Henry. Those are the things you learn. You learn them on the. But naturally, being a striker does not require too much learning. Okay. But in midfield requires training. Like a coach had to teach you how to play the game, how to read the game. A good midfield player is a good chess player, right? You are running with the ball, but there's a playbook in your hand, in your head. But it's like when you are a half human, half AI. So one of your eye is projecting your screen and telling you, like when you watch Iron Man, he's in that suit, but he's seeing a whole lot of things and he's creating escape routes, right? So that's what a midfielder is whether it's with the ball or without the ball, is thinking in layers of moves.
Yeah.
Strikers don't think like that. Strikers be like, give me the ball. If I'm back to the goal, I'll control it. If I don't control it, defender take it, we'll start the move again. If I'm back to the goal, I receive it, I can turn anyhow, and I shoot. If I don't get it, fine. If it's shot on target or shot off target, finish. But midfielders are not like that. Your passes must always be concise and precise. You must pick. You could have 3 options, and you give a pass, accurate pass, but it's still a bad pass. So you have to think in the Xavi mode. You have to put yourself in the Manuel Rocusta, Luka Modric, Robert Prosinecki, Zinedine Zidane. You have to put yourself in those shoes and be able to pick a pass that goes accurately to the right person instead of the wrong person. So you have a Poboski to your left and you have a David Beckham to your right, and you know that somebody is marking David Beckham. If I give it to a Poboski will try to dribble 3 people and lose the ball. But if I give it to David Beckham, from the middle of the line, he can find the striker and they call out Dwight York. So you have to take those decisions. Those things are trained. And how do you train people? You train, especially in today where football is more digitally inclined than it is just simply practical. So you have to create scenarios, you have to create dummies and tell a player this is what to do. Unfortunately, Nigeria does not have coaches. Since 2017 up until now, for instance, simple thing at calf licensing course we've not done in Nigeria. So we don't have coaches. We've not been training our coaches. Our economy has been so bad that coaches cannot even afford. Anybody who travel from Nigeria to go abroad, like, oh, I'm going to go do coaching course. Within the first 2 months of arriving abroad and realizing that abroad life is not as easy as they thought when they were living here, they will go from wanting to be a coach to be Uber driver or caregiver. Almost all Nigerians now are nurses. Now, not nurses because they're passionate about it, because they love blood or they like to give injection, but nurses because it's a means to survive. I was explaining food to my wife the other day. We went cross and cream to go and eat. And we came back. And so I was explaining food to the science of food. And I said, there are 2 types of food. There is food that gives satisfaction. Then there is food that fills you up. The cold eba and hot soup you eat in the morning, that's not satisfaction. That's not balanced diet. That's fill me up so I can run and hustle through the day.
Yeah.
When you go to Radisson or Cross and Cream, or you have a very fine chef that cooks for you, like when Nduka Arabo was in Nigeria, you go to Nduka Arabo's house, you know you're going to eat exquisite food, right? You are eating not much, but you're eating balanced diet. You're eating food that will go into your bloodstream and make your life better and elongate your life. But then when you eat akpu by 7 a.m. in the morning, you're eating to die, but just to survive first. No worry, I'll die and I die, but let me just survive. So it's the same thing with what we have now. We have Akbu as coaches. We have Fufu, we have a bar, breakfast as our coaches. They're just coaches who will be shouting, and devil come off my head, devil come off, kick the ball, kick the ball, kick it. No. So when you don't have coaches who understand the dynamics of the game, where the game is today, and they don't even have the tools to make a player better, it's going to be difficult. And you start with interviewing coaches. When you interview Nigerian coaches, you know that, oh, we're miles apart. I thank the Lord. I want to thank my governor. I want to thank my chairman. When you're done doing all this Thanksgiving service, and then you as a journalist, you're also lost. So you're not going to thank me too for interviewing you. You know, so those are some of the things you need to look at. We don't have the coaches who train these players anymore. Mm-hmm. So what people don't understand is this thing called football. It listens. The way you control it. You think them, Dimitri Babatov they just burn them and they sabi control the ball like that. No. or Ronaldinho. Yes, they might do practice and the rest, but then there's a part where a coach comes in. So in midfield, because we don't have good coaches, our coaches are all obsolete, who always tell players to kick the ball. If you keep the ball too long in your hand, there's a problem. And they don't know how to teach you how to navigate your way out of tight spaces anymore. We can't produce those type of players. So we're playing for luck. We have defenders come, turn midfielders. We have attackers or wingers, turn midfielders. We don't have them. When I watch Shell or Beyond Limit, or I watch Ebenezer Beyond Limit that's now in Inter Milan, and I see good coaching in them, in the way they play the ball, the way they move, transition, positional discipline, making decisions that get you wow, like the kind of Mesut Ozil decision, like this is the obvious choice, but then he gives you a pass that makes everybody say, oh, the obvious is no longer the obvious again. This is 10 steps ahead of the game. Okay, we don't produce that kind of coaches, players, because we have only one Coach Olumide in the whole of Nigeria. We need to have 2 million Coach Olumide in Nigeria. Then we know we are producing the best type of players and the best, will now make it to the national team eventually. Don't forget that we're depending more on players that are grown in England, because the migration. Look at the migration pattern. We migrate to comfort. What I mean by comfort is we want to go to places where we're not going to learn language for too long. So because we'll be found out. So we migrate to England, Scotland, or Dublin. An average Nigerian, I always ask, what are you going to do in Scotland? Scotland is the village people of England. But Nigerians will move and go and stay in Scotland. I'm sorry to say, Scotland, you give me all the money in this world, I will not stay in Scotland anywhere. Aberdeen, anywhere, I will not stay. But that's where some people go. You know why? Because the English, it's not like the English is even clear. But it is better than staying in Spain or Germany, where you now need to learn the language, or you easily be identified as an outsider. And, God help you, your papers are not correct. So people want to miss into places where it is easy, go work in old people's home, and then I pray. Nigerians are lying to themselves every day that I'm going abroad to help to give my children a better life. Now lie you. And then they are working in caregiver home. I'm not mocking anybody, but I'm just stating this as the obvious. So when they train their players, these players are not grouped properly based on their genetics, their physiques, their personality. People believe that the black player is a battle ram. So just put them up front as striker, or put them as defenders to put the ball away. So that finesse that comes with playing in the midfield, we're not losing it, because we also don't have the coaches who can groom them here in Nigeria. And everybody think that being a striker is the best thing in football. We're going to suffer it for a while. We're going to survive for a while, but I think the cycle will end, and then another cycle would return again.
Let's just wrap up the show.
Yeah, we're done
with this. In the attacking positions, we have quite a number of them in form now. Do you think there will be any new faces breaking into the attack? Or not? He's yet to find the back of the net at Southampton, even though they are still, they're struggling in England. And Aribo, talked about Aribo is not a striker, but he's also another Nigerian at Southampton. Tawawoni is injured at the moment, gradually getting back to full fitness. Do you think there's a position for maybe one or two persons? There's Boniface in USG who's doing so well right now. 5 goals, joint top scorer in the Europa League. There's a new kid in the block now in Belgium, scored 4 goals over the weekend.
We don't have space in attack.
That's what I'm saying.
We don't have space.
But with all the players that are injured at the moment, do you think there's a space for one person to just break in?
Maybe on the bench. Jose Pesero knows that his best striking partnership right now is Osimhen and Terry Murphy. Yeah. And the two of them seem to have a very, very beautiful understanding. I saw them play against Satsuma and Principal. And people say that's a very small team, but how many teams are beating them 10-0? So you would judge by what you have. I see them play, and it's not like this Varatella and Osimhen, but there was a synergy that I saw there that I love. True. One, Murphy know when to go, and Osimhen know when to stay back. Osimhen know when to go, and Terry Murphy stays back. They were not running into the same channel. They were not fighting for the same ball, which was very good. So we need to continue on that. Who are going to be the backup? Kelechi Iheanacho will still be invited to the national team. And I don't know who else joins in, but the guy in Cremonese, what's his name again? Says there's Sirideses there. So all these new names that you're calling, they made a wait. They will need to wait for their time. Aribo will still come to the Super Eagles. Alex Iwobi will still come to the Super Eagles. Not now that he has even raised this game. When he wasn't this good, he was playing for the national team, leading the midfield. So it will still come. They're not playing well in the national team. It's like Zinchenko plays right fullback, left fullback for Man City and Arsenal. He goes to Ukraine. He's the leader, number 10 man in midfield. So we could also have the same thing, and they seize the moment to play well. my problem is with Wilfred Ndidi not having a backup. I don't know what's happening with Innocent Bonke and the other guy at Brentford. What's his name now?
Frank Onyeka.
I don't know how much the level of their fitness and all that. And then at the back too, I don't know if this is time to bring in Tosin from Fulham. This guy at West Bromwich Albion, I'm not really in the best of form right now. I'm talking about
Shemi
Ajayi. So maybe the back, and then I don't know what goalkeeper will be our number one goalkeeper. But in attack, I don't think Jose Pesero have any problem at all.
Let me talk about. I mean, I'll have to take some time. I don't mind taking. You talk about Tosin. Let me just quickly share this story. I mean, I'll definitely share it. You talk about Tosin now.
Yeah, I do.
Adarabioyo of Fulham. We put out the content yesterday on the Nigeria Footballers. Potential new faces you would like to see. Like we are throwing it out to you now.
Yeah.
To you, the viewers. Which one new faces you would really like to see in the Super Eagles? And Tosin was in the graphics. Tosin is a defender. There's a guy who moved to Slava Praha. His name is Hugo Obu. Yeah, it's also in the list of defenders we dropped. A player called me. He saw it, and he was like, "Baba, what we go do? Make for to promote."
Thunder go fire that player.
To promote
the time when you go call sign for big club now, when you walk call, you're not going to take your call. Get out.
I don't want to say.
He get lock say no come here.
I don't want to say.
If I make call, the thing I go tell him. Nigerian players.
I don't want to say
I'm mad.
He's jealous, but he felt we are not putting them like
it's not their best.
He said, "Baba, we don't work from MPFL. What thing we go do? Is it that you people want us to be paying you money to promote us?"
Nobody wants their money.
He started mentioning, media people that have asking for money to promote them and all that he blocked them and all that. In my head, I'm like, maybe this guy is getting it wrong. But you don't pay us to promote you, but there are special. How would I put it? There's the kind of promotion you want people to do for you, and you have to, pay for it. I'm not saying you pay. I don't know if you get what I'm trying to say.
This is what the players don't get, and I'm going to explain this.
So when you talk about us, I just have to share. Let me just share.
See that player doesn't get it because he's stupid, and I can understand the stupidity among footballers. I used to be one. I used to be very stupid as well. The thing is, PRO is commercial transaction. If you want me to do what we did for Coach Ayi, which was an experiment. I've seen coaches, some I even contacted you to reach out to me, wanting me to do that for free. Me, Kalejaye, we went to Dubai. We spent 5.8 million in borrowed money that I am still paying. And then you want me to do that for you, to make you go from the very back of the line to the very front of the line. You understand? Those promotion is what's making it easy for Coach Ayere to assess some of the things that he assess right now. And I spend that money. And then you now want me to do it for you, for me to come to your city to do this, to do that. And you're not going to pay any. That's a problem. I'm not going to, because I don't run Sky Sports. And Sky Sports will not even go to an unknown player to come and do anything for you. Sky Sports would say, let's wait till you are successful. They want to do something for you. So if you think that my promoting you is important, you got to pay for that. But I'm doing news. I'm doing mention. I'm doing samples, polls. I have the right to pick whoever I want to pick. I don't need your money to do that. I don't need you to pay me. Because when people sometimes
like, it's nothing like,
somebody has also reached out to me and said, they say you are the lover of grassroots. But it seems like you only do for rich people. And I said, okay, I indulge all these people. I said, okay, name 10 rich players that I've done something for. Akinkunmi Amao doesn't even know that my video is why he went to play in the national team. He doesn't know. Saw me at the national team in Abuja. He doesn't know me. Right? What's it called? Ebenezer have not met me one-on-one since. He doesn't know me. That's the way I walk. People say all sort of things. I've read somewhere people say Kule Shiname don't dash money. Kule Shiname, if you see me for road, you don't know me. I don't know him as well. I could practically stand next to Kule Shiname in a bus stop. I don't know him. But when people come out and say things, and you be like, what is this guy saying? The other day, when I said my son's surgery has been done, it cost us almost 9 million naira, and somebody said, in no say, Odegalo don't give you money on your guy. Oh, God of heaven. It got me laughing. You know why it got me laughing? I know footballers. I don't ask them for anything. We're just friends. And I have also interviewed footballers and I paid them. I've paid somebody $2,000 and ex-players. I paid an ex-player $5,000 just to do an interview, a 25 minutes interview. There are other ones that I've paid. I put on retainer 3.2 million to be my co-host in the podcast, 3.5 million. You understand? But people think that because you're a media person, you're a beggar. That's why when I say these things, people say you're being too harsh. You see, Nigerian sports journalists, and I tell you that a lot. When you're going to interview somebody, wear your best clothes, dress well, smell good, look good, so that when you walk into that door, like, oh, it's different. Oh,
yeah,
it's not what I thought. Okay, and sometimes I also like when I go to them, I buy them drink, I offer them something. Like, okay, so I'm not that guy that you think. I mean, I go to people bigger than them and I buy them presents. Not because I want to show up, but because I want to abuse that idea in your head that I'm coming to beg you. My friends are the people that I'll beg money. If I need money, that's why I need friends. I make good friends. I would always reach out to them. But sportsmen, people who are going to interview tomorrow, you can't beg them money. These people don't understand. But if you not need me to come and do your PR run, I'm going to run around and tell people how good you are, how this one you do. Boy, that's a service. You're going to pay. If you're not going to pay, F off. So if they don't understand that, Manuel.
I was surprised the angle it was coming from, but we laughed right at the end, but it was more like airing his mind that he just sat up. He was
even arrogant, claiming that he's blocking people. You never make you don't block people. You're the block journalist.
He said they were asking him for money and this and that.
Because this job, why should they pay? They did there now.
He made it personal. Like he talked about Igor Ogu, like I know this guy, play rich me.
Now you know say you not play rich
and stuff like that. So we've been doing it from the NPFL. We feel we should be out there. He felt offensive, but at the end we laughed over it.
So I feel the pain.
I was like, so you guys feel.
I feel the pain of MPFL.
So now I want this post thing, now I want more the post now. I'm going to do like,
I feel the pain of MPFL players. For me, I go the extra mile for them. I remember putting up some posts about Imadi and people were insulting me. I said Imadi is worth $5 million. Remember, even Post carried the story, which is good. And people were attacking me. And somebody said, where those state governor don't give you money, finish, take buy equipment. You no go support, try to market the player. I went to Benin with 32 million naira of my own money. What's wrong with you? The deputy governor doesn't know me. I don't have his number, right? But hey, people will say those kind of things. Now I'm trying to promote a player that doesn't even have. That's not on the map. That's not on the map. You say I collect money. I promote. I talk about audio. I collect money. I talk about Iguavon. I collect money. Waiting they worry Nigerians and they talk about somebody every time you try to promote a player, they say you collect money. And then when you eventually want the money, they say that they block you.
It just shows you need to be very careful with this. No matter how close you are to them, you just need to be very careful.
Remember when John Ogu had issues, and John Ogu is my guy. It's one of the best human beings that I know that play football. But you remember when they had that issue with Wilfred Ndidi and John Ogu became the one who was at the center of the storm. Mm-hmm. There's a line that John Ogu used in his tweet that was very bad. And he said, look at them. These ones are be coming to beg for help. And I showed it to a few guys. I called them, I told them that this is beneath you anyway. I showed it to a few people who are mentoring. I said, you see why you shouldn't ask these people for help? They will use it against you tomorrow. They will definitely use it. Footballers are shallow people. They are people, dregs of society who God used football to bless. They are like Niger Delta militants. They get oiled, so they are stupid. Don't go and beg them, because if I call a Timmy that calls to me, man, I need like 2 million naira. This is what Timmy will say. Bro, there until maybe me I mention it publicly. Or I call and say, hey, bro, I need like 5 million naira. There's something I want to do. I'll pay you back, but I'll not pay you instantly like 5 million, but I'll pay in trenches. Okay, send your account number. Right? That conversation stays between me and Ali. And as I'm paying it back, it's even telling me like, okay, sometimes it's okay, you not pay 3 million, forget it, 2 million. You can't do that. There's not a Nigerian footballer that will do that. You never see Nigerian footballer. Now you go interview them, finish. They're not going to share the link or the short video on their status.
Yeah.
But they're going to share as comedian when they do skit for their status. You know, they see them. You know, that alone already tell you the way our footballers they think. Now, those people you want to beg money, they go munch your chat, put out for social media. Nigerian footballer would like against people. Can't all the poor people will be see.
I picked up two things from that. You know, I was happy that there's someone out there who could reach out to me and say, okay,
I need help.
I need
but they should ask for the help
nicely. You know, stuff like that. Yeah, they should ask for it nicely.
It also means that they've recognized the platform that you belong, that the platform makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense. And number two, just be careful. No matter how close you get to these people, be careful with them. Know how you follow them and know how to follow them.
Everything I've taught you, you are seeing it happen in real life now.
Like it's happening in front of me. So it was over 30 minutes conversation. It was a WhatsApp call. I was just reminiscing over everything. I was like, well, you just have to move on and take it as it is and learn just be careful. Know when to handle.
I remember one time one guy called me. I said, Baba, the work we do for Sime, so you are not my by now I suppose on buy house on Banana Island. I just said, I said, but I'm not going to see my phone number. If I send Osime a message for WhatsApp, the only guy who you send a message to and he respond immediately is Ojo Igalo. And then Taiwa Woni. If I send Osime a message in January, maybe in December, he go reply. And I think that happens to you too.
Yeah.
So I don't know where you're talking all this, so they are giving us money. Everything I own in terms of building this project, and from my pocket they come. I they work for street, I they hustle, I they sell land, I they help people. People abroad will say, help me buy property. I will tell you, say, this is the cost of the property, but this is my fee. Upon that is why I buy my computer, buy my console, and the job doesn't come every day. My own job is to make sure when you offer me that opportunity, I deliver excellently. So that you can now refer me to somebody, your friend, somebody else say, this guy helped me buy that land, or the land is good, or this guy, when I want to buy property, 75 million, I sent to Ramo, he buy on 75 million finish, I can't give him 2 million naira. That's how I work. That's my side hustle that keeps me going. So people who sit in the house, press a calculator, say, Osime, Igalo, Taiwani, this one, don't give him Amaju, don't give him $50,000.
All right, guys, it's a wrap on the show today. I mean, this is more like me making up for lost times. in the past with this, but I just needed to share this experience, and I hope you know that is listening might have picked out one or two lessons from it. So it's a wrap on the show today. Up next is the Ninja Players GPS show. Don't go anywhere. Mount Sebastian is still here. Stick around. Bye bye.
All right, bye bye.